Follow your passion and the money will follow. Well, if that isn't the biggest lie sold to aspiring entrepreneurs, and if you're someone who's been working on their passion project for months or years and still cannot pay your bills with this video could be your wake-up call. Because passion without strategy isn't a business. It's a very expensive hobby, and it's time we talked about some of the differences.
So let me guess your story. You have this thing you absolutely love doing. Maybe it's coaching women to find their purpose. Maybe it's creating beautiful content about wellness and mindfulness. And maybe it's helping people live their best life. You're passionate about it. You're good at it. You genuinely want to help people. And everyone told you, just follow your passion, do what you love, and the money will follow.
So you started the passion project. You created the Instagram account, you wrote the blog post, you filmed the videos. You poured your little heart into it. But here's what's happening. You're working harder than you've literally ever worked in your life. And you're making less money than you did probably at your job when you were 16 years old. You're pricing your services at what feels like accessible instead of what they're actually worth. You're spending more time on the passion part than the paying customers part. And you're starting to wonder, maybe I'm just not cut out for entrepreneurship. But that's not the problem. The problem is you were sold a lie.
I like this because it's like you own your job and you pay yourself poorly is really like the synopsis of this. So let me give you a perfect example from my own life. I love building websites, and I mean genuinely, I get excited about this, about playing around with the tech, setting it up. I've set up so many content sites in my life. Domain names, I own so many of them. Experimenting with different platforms, that's totally my jam. And I can spend hours tweaking layouts, testing features. It's fun for me. This is literally a Saturday night. It's creative. It is my version of relaxation, which is, I know it's laughable. But you know how much money I've made from this passion? Zero. Because I'm not treating it like a business. I'm treating it like a hobby that happens to involve business tools. I'm not thinking about market demand, pricing strategically. I'm not focusing on customer acquisition or revenue generation. I'm literally just playing. And that's fine. I've given myself to have that as a hobby. I've given myself that permission, that freedom. But let's call it what it is. It's a hobby.
So here's the reality check that nobody will give you. Your passion doesn't automatically translate into profit. Just because you love something doesn't mean people will pay you for it. Just because you're good at something doesn't mean there's a market for it. And just because you feel something is meaningful doesn't mean it's a viable business model. I see this all the time with women who are trying to figure out their new side hustle or start a new venture. I help women find their purpose. Okay, but who specifically? What's the transformation? What's the measurable outcome? What are you charging and why? I create content about living your best life. Great, but what's the business model? How does your content turn into cash? Who's your target customer? I'm passionate about wellness and mindset. Fantastic. So are 50,000 other people on Instagram, and that's probably a low number. What makes you different? What problem are you solving that people will pay you to fix? Passion is the fuel, strategy is the engine, and you need both.
So how do you turn a passion project into an actual business? First, get honest about the market and stop asking, what am I passionate about? Start asking, what problem am I trying to solve? And what problem are people willing to pay to fix? Your passion might be helping women feel confident, but the business opportunity might be helping women negotiate salary increases. Do you see the difference? They need more confidence to negotiate effectively, but just giving them confidence doesn't directly solve a problem that they'd be willing to pay for.
Second, price it like a business because you are not a charity. If you're pricing your services based on what feels nice or accessible, you're not running a business. You're running a nonprofit. And that's okay if that's what you want to do. But market rates exist for a reason. Your prices should reflect the value that you create, not how much you think people can afford.
Oof. Third, focus on revenue generating activities. So 60% of your time should be spent on activities that directly lead to paying customers, not content creation, not building your brand, not perfecting your website, as fun as that is. Sales activity, marketing activities, customer service activities.
Fourth, get specific about your customer. Women who want to feel better about themselves is not a target market. That is a therapy session. Women in tech who want to negotiate a 20% salary increase within 90 days is a target market.
So here's the good news. You don't have to pick between a passion project and a business, but you do have to be strategic about how they're connected.
Start with market demand. What are people already spending money on? What problems are people actively trying to solve today? And then you need to find where those intersect. Where does your passion overlap with genuine market need?
So you're going to build the business first. You're going to focus on market demand. You're going to figure out what your target market is and how you can solve that problem for them. And then you're going to focus on how you can passionately serve that market.
And once you have a profitable business model, your passion becomes your competitive advantage. It's what makes you show up consistently, especially when things are tough, serve your customers better, and stay motivated through things when it gets hard. But passion alone, that's not a business plan, that's just a wish.
So I'm not trying to crush your dreams. We're really not. But what we want you to do is have a successful business that you're passionate about, because there's nothing more discouraging than starting a passion project that you feel very passionate about, but you don't have the strategy to support that doesn't become a profitable business.
And here's the thing, your passion matters, your desire to help people matter, your creative energy matters, but bills never get paid by good intentions. If you want to turn your passion into a profit, you have to treat it like a business from the very first day. Market research, competitive pricing, and revenue targets. Not because you're greedy, but because you're serious.
But the world needs what you have to offer, but you need to offer it as a strategic package, not as a hobby.
So it's time to ask yourself, are you running a passion project or are you running a business? Because there's actually room for both in your life. Just don't confuse one for the other. Ready to turn your passion into profit? Link in bio for a strategy that actually works.
Are you ready to turn your passion into profit? Join our community and gain the accountability that you need to get your passion project across the finish line strategically.